Hey, how you guys doing? It's the producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Marvel Hacks. This is our Sins of Sinister preview, y'all. We are in the third issue of the Sins of Sinister, another crossover event by the X-Men. On the line tonight is Brother Beavis. What's happening,
Well,
man?
episode 3 can't be the preview. We're gonna have to commit to it at some point, right?
Oh, for
We
Pete's sake. Yes. Okay. If you go back to the archives, folks, episode 1 was our Road to Sinister. Episode 2 was the book, The Sins of Sinister. And now this episode now would be episode 3, but really
Episode
part
3. Oh
2.
shit, we got to go buy all these books, these like
Yeah,
side angle
exactly.
side books now.
Yes. Well, and then it's throwing off if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that this is book number 1, 001, no less, of the Storm and the Brotherhood.
Yeah,
So
like
what they
they haven't got a single book like into double digits in the
oh and
past like 5 years since everything
yeah,
gets
exactly.
rebooted, and they have the
For sure.
audacity to put 001 on it.
Yeah, well, and again, if to play this out, if you look, and again, if you're watching YouTube, it does actually say part 2, Sins of Sinister, at the top, but it's part 3 for us, y'all, as we start to get through this. It's Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants coming out of the original Sins of Sinister. Don't worry, y'all, you'll get a red page recap. But
Mm.
if you want to follow along, we got you like 10 or 11 slides to kind of keep you going through the YouTube part. Our factual information, our writer is Al Ewing, our artist is Paco Medina, and our cover artist is Lanil Francis Yu, a longtime Marvel artist. I'm not sure he's ever even crossed over. What do you think about this cover?
He's got to be like the longest tenured artist because I think he came on like old school Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't like it's funny to me because like this kind of like lined but at the same time kind of scratchy art is it's like the new standard, and there's probably like half a dozen people that pull it out. It's like as it used to be like everybody was copying John Byrne, and now this is kind of like the quintessential. But to recap the content we give away for free, I did say that Jade Cargill did cosplay a Storm, and now they're drawing Storm like Jade
Yes, it
cosplay. Look
is.
at her thighs,
Her
Jesus.
quads. I mean, she is yoked all to be damn, eating very good on
Yeah,
Arako, apparently.
this is 10 years. So, spoiler alert, this is 10 years. And we know what Storm's been doing for the last 10 years. She has never, ever missed leg day in the last 10 years.
No, she's been on the gas, possibly as well. Anyway,
On that Arako gas, son.
on that Arako, man, yeah, you know, oh my God, that
Well,
cycle.
let's think about that. Actually, it would have the lighter atmosphere. It would have the lighter gravity. So
Yeah,
maybe she would
yeah.
be like Superstorm on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she atrophy, it would be that much harder to like keep her muscles up. I don't know.
Wow. Well, as Brother Beavis indicated, this is 10 years after the Sins of Sinister had begun. And don't worry, again, we will get your freaking page you had to pay for a recap here coming up. But yeah, it's 10 years later. My initial thoughts on this book, and I shared it before we started recording, I was like, you know what? This shit is pointless. I am not reading this book. I'm not reading Nightcrawler next week. Like, fuck this book.
Hmm.
Like, and fuck this miniseries. But on second read through, I kind of got it, the point of it, even though it gets confusing near the end. But I mean, initial thoughts before we jump in.
Well, I think so we have staunchly avoided um X of Swords, which is seems to be the next most significant sort of core storyline after the House and Powers of X. And
Mm-hmm.
so the I guess the first thing that stands out is this is the same sort of construct, and they have this story that spans multiple years,
Mm-hmm.
and courtesy of it was Moira the first time in her lives, and now it's Sinister and his like perversion of her power. So it's not like, oh, we gave you this playground, go tell whatever stories you're going to tell just on a different world. It's more kind of like keeping with the original concept of this X-Men relaunch, at least. But
Right.
it is very much like we know a lot about Marvel. We don't know anything about Arako.
Yeah.
I'm trying though. I'm trying to
Yes.
go back to the vault, but I
Yes.
can't I can't get through like one a night.
It's
Like
too much.
I don't sleep, and I put
It,
one of them on. I'm like,
it's too much. I tried, man. I'm like, oh my gosh. So
you
yeah.
can't
It's,
introduce like 45
mm,
essentially invulnerable, all powerful characters at once and try
yeah.
and get any of them over. Like
Right. It's just too
It's bad.
much. It's too much. All right. So let's jump into it. Yeah, so if we go by the slides here, it should go.
Ugh.
Tell me I'm right. Yeah, we're good, bro. Ah, see, I hit it twice. That's what she said. All right.
I will
So
say, because it looks like, I think you might have skipped this. The blown up planet and living on like a fractured part of the planet, that is an
yeah.
Agents of Shield storyline. Just gonna throw that
Oh,
out
really?
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, maybe that's a universe they were in prior
No.
to joining MC. Okay, fine. All
You
right.
you
So
I might have some thoughts on the MCU relationship to that show in our next podcast.
nice.
Ironically, about a different promotion.
AEW. All right, so it's our recap, y'all. Is here at the beginning. Storm is at the beginning of the Sins of Sinister, where has Sinister had implanted his seed son and all the other mutants that had gone through the protocol for the resurrection. Storm had not done that, so when Sinister took over all the other bodies, hers was not taken over. She had teleported off towards Mystique and Destiny, and then this picks up pretty much, I'm assuming, after that, where it is this war on Arako, where Storm has her group of people, Sinister has his people that he sends out there, and there's this battle. But it is really like the Sins of Sinister versus a bunch of rejects, because I don't know who any of these people are outside of Storm, and I was like, what the fuck is
Well,
Nova
you
doing
know who
there?
this big
And
headed M word
I
on the
meant more
left
for
is. That's Sugar Man.
yeah, well, yeah, I know that, but I was talking about who Storm's team is. It's a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
rank, bro.
like I guess there's a Thunderbird knockoff or Warpath or
Mm,
whatever. But and so this looks like some Grant Morrison era
yeah.
bullshit. That might be gold balls with like the 3 balls on his shirt. And there's some
Oh,
Arako people like the dude that looks like Set. I don't know
mm.
who like
Who's got the Xavier
ate some glow
chair?
in the dark Play-Doh and like let it dribble down his face. I don't know who
Mm.
that is, but
It's just
Is that a
awful.
rock
Like this
slide?
is
I thought he was dead. I don't
rock
know these
right,
people.
man. Yeah, they all suck. That's what I'm saying. Like I was like, no wonder they lost.
Well, and
Like
the
it
other
didn't
thing
really take
too
much.
is like they fight a horde of Sinister's chimeras throughout this, which is like is effectively Justice League cartoon fighting robots and aliens. Like you're
Correct.
fighting these put together two power mutants. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
good.
And Storm is telling a story like through the plot boxes to somebody that is unknown of at that particular point. It's going to wind up being Destiny, or so we think. Bomb, bomb,
Well, that looks like
bomb.
Nova
But they
actually.
lose. Yeah, exactly. I mean, whatever. Yeah.
I don't
So
know if
they.
this is Sunspot or what. Like we need some
I
more
don't know.
pages we got to pay
Yeah,
for to figure
yeah,
this out.
exactly. There's a lady with 4 ears. They wind up getting defeated by multiple man because they just overwhelmed him with their numbers. Like, okay, he still sucks.
They, did they
But
put multiple man and angel together? They're like
yeah, that's a chimera for your ass of rank.
scrape the bottom of the X gene barrel.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's fine. I mean, again, it's comic book stuff. There's a great shot of Storm there if you can see it on the YouTube as well. I mean, the early parts of the art in this book is actually pretty good, but there's gonna come a time, folks, where it falls all the way off. We're getting to it soon too. So then we get, man, this double clicking thing. Then we get to this part that I almost wanted to throw this book away. Then we get the Star Wars scroll on what we are actually reading. And I about lost it when I first saw it. First off, I have a bad eye. I was like, is this supposed to be in 3D or my eyes all fucked up? Like it's giving off the shadow. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, what's going on here? And we get the Star Wars scroll about what had actually happened, about essentially they were on Arako. It didn't work out. They got attacked. Now a small band of rebels led by General Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm like, come on. I can't believe I didn't get a text from you about this.
Well, I only got it like probably around 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I do want to. I have killed the app on a number of occasions. I had occasion to go to the comic book store.
Mm.
I got the actual book. Look,
Nice.
y'all.
If
Actual book, kind of whatever.
Mm.
And I had a digital download code. I got in. I actually downloaded. I have it on my iPad in my library now. It all came together. I've given up on them actually letting me log in, so I have to like reset and send me the code every single time.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, is there like glasses in here?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to get something?
Exactly. I'm like, what in the world? Why
Like,
is it
is there
giving off
like
shadows?
is there an online thing? Like, I guess on the app it's a little bit better, but it is still kind of jacked up.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I didn't know what that was. Okay, but again, it's not Destiny. It's actually Mystique, y'all. She was hiding out, trying to figure out. And then, if you listen to any of our stuff before, you know how we talk wrestling. Who the hell is John Ironside or Renee Zellweger? Like, what push is this? This dude is getting a huge push in this book.
I would assume that he is a Arakan, but because I never heard of him. But
and a Roland.
Yeah, a Rockin' and a Rollin'. But I mean, like, who's getting the push here? Like, is this still the lingering effects of Jennifer Lawrence being the highest paid actress in the movies that we do get? Because Mystique, she is the best she is at what she does. She's well nigh vulnerable. She's got the focused totality of her X-Men powers. She is the literal most powerful mutant ever created, as far as I can tell after reading this book.
Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she has a lot going on. Shift X mind powers as well, apparently. Yeah. But basically, she's there to deliver a message from Destiny that says, we can save Arako. You can have Arako back again. And they go over the plan, which is essentially to go to Muir Island, destroy the Sinister base, and the Moira clones as the reset point, and then we can go, get a reset and maybe save, what had been lost. And Storm's response to this is, assemble the team, essentially. And
look at this.
I mean, I guess it is, yeah. I mean, but overall, I mean, I'm not hating the idea. It's tying the link back into the Sins of Sinister book. Like, I get that part. It is kind of end game in the plot line here. Gotta go back, set the timeline, everything will be okay again. Like that kind of situation. It's fine. Well, the artwork here is pretty good. And this guy's giving cheap Joey Mads here, by the way.
Oh, that is yeah, that's true.
Very cheap.
Is that their goal? Is that like, are they trying to, I don't know that they're trying to reset the timeline so much as they're trying to like defeat Sinister and the Chimeras. I think they recognize they're stuck in this future, right?
No, I think no. They're gonna manipulate the Moira clone to reset the timeline before Arako was destroyed. Then that's where they start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
okay. So now, all right, the end makes more sense now because I'm tracking.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, it may still happen, or it might buy us some time before it happens, but at least we won't. You could prepare for it as necessary, and that's
this
it.
Is
but yeah,
Joey
this
Mad
is
stuff.
No, this is very Joey Mad.
Did he?
And not as good.
Is he? R.I.P.
No, he's alive. No. That's the guy.
Oh, Carlos Pacheco.
Pacheco. Yeah, he just passed away. Yeah. So that's it. That's our plot. And so we are going to get Storm's team here, y'all. Boy, oh boy. Storm. Okay, cool. Cable. You know what? I got shit to do.
So I guess and young Cable killed old Cable because he was worthless, but now young Cable is old Cable 10 years in the future.
Is that what it is? I didn't even read the
I would think so, because like in the Krakoan timeline, they finally got it. Well, no, there's probably still a Nate Gray somewhere, but they finally like the young Cable. I think he killed old Cable because he was like, you keep screwing this up. You had your time. So
yeah, I think
but now this has put 10 years on him. He's essentially old Cable again.
Got it. Have you heard of any of these people besides Storm, Cable, and Mystique before?
WizKid. WizKid was one of the before Grant Morrison was littering the X universe with worthless mutants. We had the X Terminators, who were all the kids that the X Factor, the OG X Factor team, which was the OG X-Men team, saved. WizKid was amongst them.
Oh, okay. Who's his name? Takeshi Masu. Yeah. So he wrestling on AEW on Wednesday night, I think, right?
Take a shit. Matsui. I would like to
Yeah, oh
revisit
my
the
god.
3D effect because what you were talking about, like
Yeah,
that
it's
was
back.
like when I went to see Into the Spider Verse. I'm like, are there glasses outside? Did I forget? was this? Am I in the wrong movie? Did I like?
Yeah,
I
did I
know
buy
I,
the
I
wrong
know
thing?
I ain't paying $5 extra for 3D. I didn't walk in the wrong studio. What happened? Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So
I
this
don't
is the
I don't
Brotherhood.
understand like why would you produce this with that graphic but not like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like if
and
it's
for
like
what?
if you buy it in the app it does something but it doesn't. I can guarantee I can tell you it is the same on the page on your screen on the app. Like I don't know what they were
Yeah.
trying to do here.
Okay. And because you are social media
Oh.
limited. Okay, so uh usually when new comic books come out on New Comic Book Wednesday, blah 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 blah. People will start posting about the books that they got, either pictures of the books or posting pictures from inside the books, like, oh, this scene was here, or these are X spoilers, blah 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 blah. Okay, so Wednesday this comes up, I'm like, all right, well, let me see what the nerds are saying. Nothing. That's what they
Hmm.
were saying. They're not a trend, not a hashtag, not a nothing. And I was like, that's weird. So let me go ahead and get this book on Thursday. And like I said, I read it the first time and I was really like, oh, what are y'all doing here? Again, got a little bit better on the second read, but I get the sense that it was like, yay, Sins of Sinister. I don't really feel like investing either the money or the time into another obvious, short, not even a mini series. I think there's only going to be 2 issues. So like, why am I even committing to
Mm.
this? And I get it. I totally get like why people would not be like, you know what, I'm good. I'll wait for the trade. This very much feels like a wait for the trade
It
situation.
is weird to like, because I think we were surprised at how this is put together. Like you're expecting like a limited series, all like Sinister, whatever, and that's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not what we're getting. And
Mm-mm.
and the way these books are titled, they're clearly not made to last unless like they become some Elseworld stuff, which I don't think
Mm-hmm.
anyone cares about. So yeah,
No.
definitely weird in that regard. Although I will say, like I said, I went to get the book today, and they had one on the shelf, which I don't know if it was like a sealed evaluated, it was like $25. I was like, no. And then they
Wait, what
restocked
now?
while I was there. So they at
Mm.
least the shelf got knocked down for most of the week and then
Yeah.
they had to stick some back up. So
And that always surprises me too. Like I'll go and there'll be books. I'm like, this is gone or sold out. I'm like,
mm.
did you order like 7 copies? Because like this is weird. But anywho, all right. So yeah, this is our team, y'all. Don't be expecting any deep dives on any of these folks till after Brother Beavis reads X of Swords. So all right. So they body slide by 7 to Muir Island. We get to like, oh, from the previous book that we found out the Sinister's lab was underneath Muir Island all this time. And he held all the Moira clones there. And so we get this shot here, and then this is where the art starts to fall apart here. And I'm not sure if he draws better like up close, like that kind of great value Joey Mad that we saw
Mm-hmm.
before. But now, as we start to get wide shots, it falls apart completely. And I'm not really sure why that is, because you would imagine this is only a couple of books this person had to do. You think that they would turn them around pretty quickly. But anyway, gonna get a comic book fight, y'all. It's a comic book fight. Uh, on the top surface, it's going to be the mutants fighting against 2 of the worst
I was
mutants
thinking
ever
about you when I
created
read
in
this.
X-Men
I was
history.
thinking about you
Like,
when I read this page.
yeah,
Your
I was
boy.
like, you, oh my god, and your girl,
Yep.
Maggot, and what's the other one's name?
Marrow.
Marrow. Good God Almighty,
So it's kind
Lord.
of funny, actually, though. Like she, instead of like just pulling out bones and throwing them, she pulls out like little bone sharks or
Yes,
bone
bone
maggots.
maggots. Awful.
I saw that. I was like, "Oh shit!" Producer's
Yeah,
gonna be like,
yeah, and he was.
if he
Yeah,
did buy this book, it's
yeah. It was not a happy time. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, could you pick 2 worst mutants to amalgam together?
what. And again, well, they did Madrox and Angel. I mean, I think that what we're
Yeah.
trying to be sold on here is any 2 mutant powers is better than any 1 mutant power. So okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's awful. My note says an amalgam of marrow and maggot. Fuck. So they leave the red shirts on top to fight against that freaking crew of Maggot and Marrow, and Storm creates a storm tornado or whatever to go down, and then we get I was like, come on, man. I was like, are those dinosaurs? Really? Come on, man. So the other chimeras down there, and there's our boy. What's the clear dude's name?
Is that Glob?
Glob.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been freaking
Thank you, Grant
amalgam with
Morrison.
somebody. Yes. Oh my god. And so there's this big black
Big black ball.
Ball.
Black
Yeah.
ball turned into black snake.
This big glob of something that's holding like all of Sinister's secrets here. And so the AEW wrestler is cast. He is, you know, some tech genius or whatever. And he has to figure out what he's going to do. And then the plan is to transport the entire ball off site so they could deal with it later while they fight the Chimera.
And for what it's worth, WizKid does make an appearance in X-Men, either X-Men or X-Men 2, one of the two.
Wait, what?
X-Men 2, he's when Wolverine comes down right before the soldiers attack, the kid that's like changing the channels with his eye, well, like clicking.
That's him?
Yeah, it's WizKid.
Yeah.
Although he was like a Harry Potter. He was portrayed by Harry Potter and not take a shit.
Yeah. Definitely take a shit. Yeah, so they go down there. He does his magic powers or whatever to offload this thing, and it's gone. But oh no, there's a ruse, y'all. It's not really take a shit. Take a shit is not take a shit. It's actually Mystique again, and she gets to drop on Storm, stabs her with her. I mean, I guess he has. Does Take a Shit have these powers? Like, how did he produce a knife or a sword?
That's Mystique.
I know,
but Jennifer Lawrence can do whatever the fuck she wants.
But wait, she had a sword with her. She was in a wheelchair all this time. Where does the sword
come? It's not her sword. I guess. She just changed her. She changed her arm into a sword, yo. But looking at this now, like very clearly, this mirrors this is sort of the eye for eye. You stab me in the neighborhood of my gallbladder, so I have to have it taken out. And so I'm going to stab you in the vicinity of your gallbladder. So this is clearly not a killing strike, which makes me wonder, like, see, and this is like the Mystique Destiny tag team.
Yeah.
One of these is Marty Jannetty, yo. Yeah. One of them going through the glass.
But you say that, but they have made their love story a very pivotal part of this whole House of X, Power of X thing. Like them, and even when we get to the end of this book, you know, this idea of having to reset timelines to save the life or protect that other person has been the root of the whole thing. So I don't know that one's going to turn on the other one, because neither one of them can be good guys. Air quotation.
All right. I just want to remind the listeners, I predicted Black Panther wasn't making out Infinity.
Everything is noted.
That was great. So good.
Yes, you were. Yeah, I'm about to get out of this movie theater now too. So yes, she turns on Storm. Takeshi, whatever his name is, turns on Storm. Stabs her. Look, this is again where the art fell apart. My note also in here says, what do you think about this costume for Storm? Because it's given like Magneto, Thor, Storm. It's cool. It's doing a lot.
Well, that's true. Because it's got like the balls on the neck piece for that's definitely a Magneto costume. Yeah. The other thing I would add to that is, I think in Immortal X-Men, which was the run into this, like she has almost a different like depiction in every episode, every issue, and it's sort of like they portray like almost all the storms over time, and sort of reinforcing the idea that like she, her powers have always been tied to her emotions, and she's projected different visages and stuff like this. So it's a little Gladiator for me, honestly, because I'm not sure where the helmet starts and what's her skull and what's her hair and whatnot, but they have like almost used her as a wallflower in a sense. Like she's just kind of taken up space in the background, and she's a name, and she hasn't really done anything. So I mean, if this is her, let's do it. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, again, it's as impractical as her previous costumes in
mm-hmm.
the sense that it's just not showing all the skin. But I mean, it was like, why does she need a whole cape or a crown?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense there. But I mean, maybe again, as you finish your X of Swords, maybe this outfit makes sense. I mean, again, the Magneto thing makes sense because he was also a proponent of Arako, I
Well,
believe.
yeah. So she and he, I think, went and they cut themselves out of the resurrection protocol. So that, I
Yeah.
mean, this could be in some sense. This is a very like it's more open, but this is very much a Magneto-esque costume.
Yeah.
So
He ain't
yeah.
had them booty shorts though.
But the problem I think is I don't even think the Magneto and Storm like on Arako. I don't even think that takes place in X of Swords. I think I got to go even
And the crate.
farther in the archives to make sense of that.
Yipes. Well, there's the heel turn here. She stabs her. Storm. She thinks she's down. John Ironside, the greatest mutant of all time, apparently. He feels that he has failed his leader there.
Because he did.
And yeah, because he did. And then we shoot off world, and then we get Destiny watching this thing that Takeshi had transported off into this other world or whatever. And she's having a conversation with somebody who is evil because of the way the freaking the dialogue
or sick,
box is.
one of the two, or both.
Yeah, something, man. Yeah, and it basically was saying what I was saying at the beginning, where like, okay, we need to figure out how to save my boo by doing whatever they had to do. Okay, so Mystique went over there and did that. She double freaking secret probation them. Ironside got the drop on her the first time, but now she's got freaking tech that she can, make it even smell like her. I was like,
she spent 10 years tricking them. This is like a 10-year game that she was pretending. Man. She was showing them all the false tells so she could get the drop on them now.
Yeah, that seems a little bit cap. And so it's like, wait, well, who the hell is Destiny talking to? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then when you see the reveal, it really doesn't make any sense because it's, I don't know.
It's Dr. Stasis. It's the
I didn't read those books. Go ahead.
It's the club. You saw some of that. It's the club version of Sinister. It's the 4 Sinisters that broke out on Immortal 9. There was the club. Oh, no, this is the Spade. So the club was Dr. Stasis, and then the diamond was actual Sinister. We haven't seen the heart, but this looks like this is another Sinister.
Okay. But we don't know why he created 4 different versions of himself.
Well, I don't know. Nobody knows what Sinister does, but this is essentially a Sinister. But this is one we haven't seen before because when I first saw it, I thought it was a club. But that was I think Dr. Stasis. This guy we've never seen. But
okay,
so like,
sure,
yeah. Now you ran him, Michael Ironsides, but. Like, I'd almost rather have like him than Wolverine.
Yes, yeah. I agree. No. Yeah, give somebody else a different push. Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. But also, you can't just come out on the first day on the freaking 605 show and beat Ole Anderson, but without knowing who the hell you are. Like, that shouldn't happen either. We should have some version, like, oh, I've always failed you. Can we get a, hey, as referenced in issue number, whatever. Not that I'm going to go and read it, but like just having somebody come out to be like a super badass without an explanation doesn't make any sense. So there's going to be 2 books in the 10-year collection here. Next one is Nightcrawler, which comes out next week. I'm figuring we're going to have to read at this point. And then it jumps up to 100 years after this Sins of Sinister piece with another Storm and the Brotherhood and then another Nightcrawler. And then the bookend of the Sins of Sinister, I think, is the other book from there.
Yeah, Sinister Dominion or whatever.
Yeah. So my initial thought again was like, this is crap. Like, what the hell are they doing here?
Well, so they're not splitting it across the books because they're showing Nightcrawlers and Immoral as all year 10.
Oh, that's right. There is an Immoral X-Men. I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot that was the other book.
That's got to be like where Sinister, like that's going to be Sinister's side of the story.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So maybe we can.
Although Nightcrawler's all fucked up too.
Yeah, but maybe we can escape that Nightcrawler book because again, there's never been a good Nightcrawler book, and
There
I'm
has
assuming
not.
that 2023 is not going to be the first chance there is one.
I can't
So
see it.
yeah, I just no, I just can't. So yeah, so what does it say on there? Does it say Immoral is the next book, or is
Yeah,
Nightcrawler
Immoral
next?
then Nightcrawlers, but it's not the same order after that. I don't know.
Okay,
Like, how hard is it? It's a
yeah, would
monthly
make
book.
sense.
Like,
Yeah, to flip them and make, or not flip them, but make them the same. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But overall, it's alright. You know, I get it. It moves the story along. I have no problem with it. I'm not gonna go back and read X of Swords like you are, but it was okay. Like I have no real problem with it. What do you think?
well, I mean, the one thing is like it's kind of the same problem that the MCU has right now. When you introduce multiversal stuff and you can reset timelines and all this stuff, like it in a lot of ways undercuts whatever. They're showing how horrible this is and people dying and people, but it's all going to be reset. So like,
Right. Yeah.
why do we care?
Yeah. The
Also, I don't
stakes.
see how Destiny drinks tea through what has always been portrayed as a solid mask, but whatever. Or whatever it is she's got in this mug.
Nice. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. All right. So that's it, y'all. I mean, I said we're no deep analysis of this book. You know, it'll be put onto the pile like the rest of them at this point, and kind of see where it goes. Again,
We're just
interesting
two
enough.
people reading comic books.
Yep, it's interesting enough to keep reading. Again, had we done this podcast Thursday night, I'm not 100% sure if that would have happened, but we'll keep it going. And so next week it'll be the Sins of Sinister Part 4. I don't care what they say because it'll be immoral X-Men #1. That's what it's gonna say on that stupid book. But
Wait,
whatever.
not Nightcrawler #1.
I think you said immoral is first.
I think Nightcrawler comes out first.
No. No. Well, we'll see what happens. We might have to send Hutch on that freaking goose chase, and we'll come back after that. But we'll see. But again, so as the producer of this podcast, I'm going to head and sign off. Go ahead and sign off, Brother Beavis.
All right. See you next time and/or shortly. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. Yeah, if you're into DC, you might want to hang around. We'll see you on the other side, folks. Peace.
Peace.